All right, so we are moving into a tool. Here's a good hammer. We will talk about what it's not after we learn and practice this, okay? This is a tool of conversation. This is not a tool of resolution. This is a tool of conversation. So this is hard for the wizards because you want this to fix something. It won't. This is not designed to end the conversation. This is designed to begin the real one. Okay? Here we go. The kid says a magic phrase. We'll just take this one for an example, okay? Mirror. This is our script. The hardest part may be that you have to stick to the script. That's going to be the hard part. You're going to want to embellish, you're going to want to change, you're going to think you have a better way. We're going to, our process now and our tools is to keep things simple. It's a nail, use a hammer. It's a screw, use a screwdriver. All right? I'm going to keep it simple now. They say, I hate you. And what we say is, everybody together?
What I hear you say is, I hate you.
Say it. You say it right back to them. The rule for this repeat back to them exactly what they say. Because if you vary it, what are they going to say?
They're going to argue.
That's not what I said.
Defend themselves.
Or give them a way out.
That's right. In case they're trying to change it. And they may change it. Like I said, this is not a tool to complete or end anything. This is a tool to get to the real conversation. I hate you. What I hear you say is, I hate you. And you're going to give them a moment. Okay? I'm taking a big deep breath in this next one. Okay? Now I'm going to validate what they say. I'm going to validate this statement. I hate you. What I hear you say is that I hate you, or you hate me. Then you're going to say, what makes sense to me about that is, and then you're going to tell them what makes sense to you about that, about what they just said. With me so far?
Is it appropriate to say that you feel like you hate
Nope.
me right now?
Nope. What makes sense to me about that is, I take things away from you when I'm angry, and I'm sure that makes you mad. Or, better yet, what makes sense to me about that is, I may represent the person who limits your freedom. What makes sense to me about that is I say and do things that you don't agree with. All right? The moment you say, what was it? You feel da-da-da-da-da-da.
That you hate me because
You've actually skipped to the third one.
Okay.
Okay? So you're just skipping ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Because on the third one, we are going to empathize with them. I know, I see it. I see that furrowed forehead and the steam starting. It's okay. Bear with me. Now you can do
Okay.
it. Okay? I imagine, but if you say you probably, they can say you don't get to say, right? It's an oppositional sentence. But if you say I imagine, you must feel really angry at me right now.
But I shouldn't repeat what they say?
No, because I hate you is not a feeling.
Okay. So I imagine
Angry
you must
is a
feel
feeling.
sad.
I
Happy,
imagine you must feel sad.
angry.
Yes, very good, very
Okay.
good. All right? So, I hate you. What I hear you say is you hate me. What makes sense to me about that is that I've just given you a pretty heavy consequence that's limiting a lot of your freedom. And I imagine you must feel really angry at me right now. And then you stop talking. What are they going to do? Go ahead, tell me what your kid's going to do.
Start talking total nonsense.
Yes, and they're going to say what? What's the next words they're going to come out with?
You're crazy.
You're crazy!
You don't understand me.
You don't understand me. So guess what we do? What I hear you say is that I'm crazy. And what makes sense to me about that is my decisions may not make any sense to you. And I imagine you must feel really confused about whether or not I love you. What we are doing is we are mirroring what they say, we are validating it, and we are building empathy with them. What's the problem with this? Why would this not work? Yes?
Because they know that you're going to use it, so they just kind of block it out and just.
They try, and they will, and they will come up.
For Gazzaccio, a lot of times his outbursts are an attempt to control the situation.
Yes.
And with this, you're validating his communication, but you're not changing your position. And so he can escalate in his behavior at times. The validation isn't enough to diffuse him.
Okay. So validating him may not be enough to diffuse him. Will empathizing with his energy hopefully diffuse?
Sometimes it does. Other times, he'll come at you with fists.
So one of the things that I wanted to be very clear is this is not a tool to diffuse anything. This is a listening tool for your children. This is a way of you hearing what they're actually trying to say to you. So this may not diffuse it. They may keep going. You're just using that bullshit that Aaron taught you. What I hear you say is, I'm just using bullshit that Aaron taught me. And what makes sense to me about, what makes sense to me about that is that this is some bullshit that Aaron taught me. And I imagine you must feel pretty frustrated with me that I'm listening to Aaron and not you. I got a list of zingers from other parents, things that their kids have said to them to train this exercise. After discovering her parents were looking at a residential treatment program for her on the down low, the girl said, "You liar, you fucking liar. Honesty is the best policy, huh? What a fucking hypocrite." And you're going to say, go ahead, practice it. Go
What
ahead.
I hear you say
Everybody do it.
You liar, you fucking liar.
Low down scumbag idiot.
Okay, next one. Next one.
What
What
makes
makes
sense
sense to me
About
is
that is...
I was doing this behind your back.
That's right. That's an A plus. What makes sense to me about that is that I was being deceitful. I was doing something behind your back. Go to the next one now because you nailed it.
I imagine you must feel like you can't trust me.
Perfect. A fucking plus for you. That was perfect. That was perfect.